I am from International Atomic Energy Agency, and I will speak only about nuclear. I would like to make some comments related to three subjects related to our activity. First, last our projections for development of nuclear power. Some our instruments for supporting of member states for initiating and beginning of nuclear power, national nuclear power programs, and some words about our more actual activity during last period, safety action plan. Our agency, next slide please, our agency is a specific agency, as you know, and our activity focused mainly on atomic energy application and implementation in to economic of our member states. And each year the agency makes nuclear power projections. Next slide, please. We fulfill evaluations for future of nuclear power reactor construction. You see big green field is history of nuclear power construction, and some bars after that it's our each year evaluations. Last bar, I think pink bar, it's evaluation fulfilled just before our general conference in August. Of course, we collect all information from member states, and we publish these projections. And you see that Fukushima effect on the end of this summer gives not very big effect to low projections of nuclear power, about 7-8% low than in previous year. You see previous bar, it's our projections on 2010, 2009, 2008 and so on. Next slide, please. In high projections, we also found that Fukushima effect will give expect only 7 or 8% decreasing of high level projections. If illustrate that projections in number of constructed reactors, we expect that during next 18 years, in low case, 90 reactors will be constructed, and in highest case 350 reactors will be constructed up to 2030. Next slide, please. Of course, our projections shown that in different regions we will expect a different picture. Western Europe, there's some deviation and maybe biggest gap between lowest and highest projections. You can see in center of this picture. Some slow growths expected in North and South America. Stable but not very high growth in Eastern Europe, and highest growth is expected in Far East, mainly China, and in Asia region we expect growth in newcomer countries and in India. I would like to underline that this year it's very unique from two point of view. From one side, of course, we meet a new nuclear accident, and the agency and all nuclear society try to extract all lessons from this accident. But from other side, we see connection to grid as minimum 5 new reactors, Kaiga, Cheshma, Lingao, Bushehr. We expect near days Kalinin 4, and we expected Kudankulam, but unfortunately Kudankulam will be postponed to next year. This year also very interesting from point of view of newcomer country. From 1996 we had no new countries which connected to grid new reactors, first time. But in this year, we really have newcomer countries. It's Iran, Bushehr, it is first nuclear power reactor in Iran. And we expected that in the near future, 6 countries will strongly continue their nuclear power programs. United Arab Emirates, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Jordan, Turkey, and Belarus. And we expect that in the near future, Lithuania will come back to nuclear club also. Next slide, please. So I would like to underline that Fukushima accident will slow or delay but not reverse growth of nuclear energy. And interest to nuclear energy among more serious newcomer countries remain high. Of course, we in our agency make small changes of our rhetorics. Before we speak about 65 newcomers countries. Now we try to focus to real newcomer countries who start nuclear program and who are ready to start new nuclear program. Next slide, please. And of course, the agency during our history developed some instruments for support of newcomer country and support of recent nuclear power program. Of course, we cannot transfer technology. The agency is not market organization, but we work in field of developing of standards and guidance in nuclear area. We can provide some review and services for countries. We support capacity building in newcomer countries, and we promote knowledge networks in different fields of nuclear energy. And of course, we try to use our try to use our resources for communication, increasing of transparency, and initiating of some new international activity.